Hi, and welcome to another edition of Sunday with Mike. Have you joined our Facebook group yet? We created a Facebook group so that we can open up discussion about the show, offer updated information, and an occasional correction whenever needed. So be sure to join the Sunday with Mike Facebook group. The link is in the description for you. Today's topic was inspired by a comment on last week's show by a regular follower, and he asked, with good Wi-Fi, Spotify, and Apple Music, do we really need to build up our back catalog of music? This was in response to my segment on the 50s and 60s and backfilling your music. So my original answer to him on the show was, neither service provides every artist and song. Since both are dependent upon the internet and having access to it, and neither service is licensed for commercial use, I say yes. We do need to backfill our catalogs, but that's just my 2 cents. But you know, the more I thought about this topic after my answer, I thought it was something that we should discuss a lot further. So today we're going to have a one-topic show, and it's all about music licensing. Streaming music services, why you're not supposed to use them, why purchase CDs and downloads are not helping our problem as a working DJ, and some ideas that I think might help. So I want you to grab a cup of coffee and join me. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to take this music licensing topic really slow today. It's sensitive to a lot of you, and people get defensive when you start getting preachy. So before we go any further, I need you to remember that I'm just a working DJ just like you. I'm nothing more, nothing less, and I feel that if we all work together, one day we might be able to fix this problem for the next generation of DJs. If you live outside of the USA, you will still learn some things today, so I hope everybody will stick with me. I promise I am not preaching, I'm just asking for help. So here's my question to all of us. Do we need a blanket DJ music licensing program in the USA? And I think we do. Much like many other countries already have to their mobile DJs, Canada and others. But it does need to be even bigger and broader than what they have right now so that it covers streaming music. Because even if you're in Canada and you have a blanket license, it does not cover Spotify and the other streaming services. So this is something that we need to fix. It seems to me that no matter which way we turn, we are in violation of a law somewhere when it comes to playing music as a DJ. I haven't met a DJ yet who could claim 100% legit music library and really and truly back that up. They tend to forget about the song that somebody gave them along the way, or a CD that they gave away after they ripped it, or a song they got from YouTube, etc. And it's not a challenge. I don't want you to bombard me with, yeah, mine's 100%. That's not what this is about. Most people that I know in private will admit that somewhere along the way they've got a song that they didn't buy. That's all I'm trying to say. So I want you to relax, and all I'm trying to do is get us on the same page. So just for the sake of discussion, let's assume that we're all in the same boat. That is a sincere desire to be 100% legit, but we're probably not quite there yet. In our next segment, I'm going to discuss some of the problems that we face as we try to do our jobs as a mobile DJ with the music industry. I'm going to be right back.
DJ Event Planner will change the way you manage and run your business. Streamline all of your procedures and software into one easy-to-manage system. DJ Event Planner, the ultimate online planning tool.
So welcome back, and thanks for sticking with me on this topic. As we continue our discussion about playing music as a DJ and the problems that we face, it doesn't seem all that big until you start reading all of the fine print. All 4 logos you see, do you use any of these services, or have you ever used any of these in the course of your work as a mobile DJ? I know I have. These are big players in the music market, right? Well, let's zoom in and take a little closer look. Spotify. We've talked about Spotify a lot in the past, but I want you to take a moment and look at the terms of use, or we're going to call them TOS, that you agreed to if you use their services. It says, quote, "You promise and agree that you are using the content for your own personal, non-commercial entertainment use," end quote. So if you're using Spotify on your gigs, you're in violation of their TOS. What about Pandora? No difference. Its TOS says in part, quote, "Use the services to the extent permitted by its intended functionality for your own individual, personal, non-commercial purposes," end quote. Are you starting to notice a trend here? Let's jump over to Apple Music. What about them? Same thing. Its TOS says you may use the services and content only for personal, non-commercial purposes, end quote. That's 3 of them so far. What about Amazon? Let's take a look at one more large company in the music business. Amazon has in its TOS, quote, "Content we provide you access to through the services are only for your personal, non-commercial purposes," end quote. So as you can see, this is everywhere we go. So to summarize, all of the streaming services say the same thing. You are allowed to use their music content for your personal, non-commercial use. Since none of them guarantee that their services will not be interrupted during your gig, and you can't use it for commercial purposes, it makes more sense to have your own copies of the music stored locally on your hard drive instead of relying on streaming services that may not be there. In the next segment, we're going to talk about the issues that occur when you purchase CDs. I'll be right back. Hey, and welcome back. So when you purchase your music in the form of CDs, are you legit for your DJ gigs? No. As I mentioned in the previous show, every CD that I've ever purchased has a disclaimer that says, quote, "Not for commercial use," end quote. Even if you purchase a large collection of CDs from places like Time Life, they all have this disclaimer in them. Okay, well, what about music that you buy and download from places like iTunes? Paragraph 10 of their agreement, when you accepted their terms and set up the account, says, quote, "You shall be authorized to use the products only for personal, non-commercial use," end quote. This would be the same for any purchased music that you can download, Amazon, anybody else. So how can this be? How can you buy the music but then not be able to use it for your business? It all comes back to how music is licensed. It's difficult to understand, and that's exactly why I wanted to do today's show. The short answer is you do not own music that you buy. Your purchase allows you to use it, but the only way is whatever the owner says. Think of it as an apartment. It's yours as long as you pay your money and you follow the rules. Otherwise, you get evicted. Right after this break, we're going to recap what we've learned so far, and I'm going to offer some thoughts of my own. I'll see you in a moment. So if you've made it with me this far, pat yourself on the back for hanging in there. This is a subject that nobody really wants to talk about, and I feel that it needs to be addressed. Okay, so what have we learned so far? The only time that you are 100% in the clear on your events is if every single song that you play is currently a legit download from your subscription service and licensed for commercial use by that same subscription service, because that would also include the performance rights. As soon as you play an oldie or anything else that was not provided by your subscription service, you have crossed the magic line. I don't want to cross the line. I don't want to be on the edge of legal. I want to be 100% legit 100% of the time. And the only way that this can happen is for all DJs to understand the problems that we face and then collectively try to come together and get some music reforms for our industry. Wouldn't it be nice to have one place that you could go to that you could buy a license, and then that would allow you to use any music as a mobile DJ? I think that would be great. What if the streaming services also acknowledge that license? What about the music that you bought from a download service? What about them acknowledging your license? Wouldn't that be a much better place to find ourselves than we are now, where everything we do seems to be crossing a line somewhere? So how does this process begin? It begins with all of us as mobile DJs learning all that we can about the problems in our industry, not just this one, but all of them, so that we can all come together and try to offer some real solutions. I don't want the next generation of young DJs to have to deal with all of this. So let's openly discuss the issues and think of ways that we can offer our support towards a real solution that works for everybody involved. I hope that you'll agree that music licensing could be a really good thing for our industry. If you disagree, I still would like to thank you for taking the time to hear my thoughts on the subject. So that's going to be my show for today. I'll be off next week while we're in Washington, D.C. at Wedding Wire World. If you happen to be there, be sure to tell us hello. Also, give me your thoughts on today's show down in the comments section, and don't forget to give us a thumbs up if you like anything at all in the show. Don't forget to join the Sunday with Mike Facebook group, and that link is also in the description. So until next time, be safe, and thanks for watching.